What's up guys? Today we're maxing out on the close grip Swiss bar pause bench. And just so we're clear, I'm not grabbing it here.
Alright, you know the drill by now. Max effort method every week using variations that specifically target our individual weaknesses. This time, it's the Swiss bar close grip pause bench, which really does feel like a tricep extension at that lockout. Perfect for anyone who has lagging arms or wishes to raise the raw bench automatically.
So much easier compared to the chain version. Gotta try it out if you haven't already.
Why? Because it's harder, and the disadvantageous leverages will give you carryover while teaching you how to find your groove. Anyway, check this out, 300 pounds, and I'll say a bit more after.
Wow, that was nice. Hits the triceps beautifully. The moment you get to that lockout, cramp really sets in. That's the sticking point. Be right back. Okay, change of plans. I just got off a half an hour phone call and I'm not warmed up anymore. So I'm gonna lower the weight back down to 275 and then maybe do 315 with the regular grip. Now, man, not making excuses. It just is what it is, guys. So let's strip it down.
So yeah, that happened, but I'm not disappointed. I don't think I would have gotten more than 307 to begin with. So a little bit more was in the tank, but not by a significant margin. So we got 2 more quality sets in. Thus, I wouldn't call these first 2 exercises max effort. It's close, but really around 90% or so, which is still really good in my books. At least I know next workout will yield much better recovery. Actually, while we're on that topic, if you're familiar with some of my older videos, I talk a lot about 3 to 5 sets of 1 at 90% as a max effort replacement. That is pretty much what you saw today, which is how I got my first 365 raw bench. So if you're someone who doesn't want to strain to the absolute max, this is the next best thing. And keep in mind, it's great for those days where recovery wasn't optimized. Maybe you underslept or underate a little bit. If that's you, do this instead. You'll still get most of the strength training benefits. Just know that 100% is a bit better, though you'll still be fine with this strategy, so don't worry, okay? Anyway, the secondary press is the same exercise with a wider grip, and I'm doing the classic 3x10. As you know, I'm mixing in some volume and intensity parameters, but I stick to hybridized rep ranges. So 6 to 10 is perfect, and it gives me a good carryover while ensuring that my muscles are getting adequate volume, which is crucial given the fact that size will limit your strength potential. So this was the second week of my wave. Got 235 3x10 instead of 225. Great stuff. Next workout, we're gonna try 245, 250.
Done for the Swiss bar pressing. Kind of going home. We got singles too. Now it's time to hit over speed. 135 by 10.
Though I probably won't upload that segment to YouTube since it's pretty much exactly what you're seeing today, just with different loads. And I don't want this content to be repetitive, even though my training is rather consistent. So look out on my Instagram page to see the actual PRs. But yeah, this is the OHP 3x10. Honestly, super pleased with this. I remember when I first got back into this, I was repping 115 and even 125. That was feeling very difficult. Already back at the plate as the 3rd exercise. So despite doing all that volume work and strainage, I could still do this no problem. So imagine how much I could perform in a fresh state. Though that's not what I'm gonna talk about right now. That doesn't matter, guys. We're building our strength. We're getting more or less weight. You can say that you get a better stimulus fatigue ratio. And actually, a lot of guys have been asking me, why don't you alternate push-pull? My response to that would be, yeah, that's smart. After all, I do have a template like that in Naturally Enhanced, push-pull alternating. But I don't want to do that this time around because the bench press is my #1 goal. And I feel like going back-to-back like this makes a bit more sense in terms of getting more out of less weight, which matters a lot when you're hitting these poundages. So I agree in a general strength training context, but I found this to be my preferred setup over the years. Also consider the fact that my 405 bench goal is far above my pull-up goal, so I don't care if I lose a bit of performance on those singles right after.
That's what I'm talking about. 3x10, 135. Didn't take that long to accomplish. Also, remember, it's a beautiful thing. What can I say?
That said, who knows what could happen in the future? I am completely open to the idea, just that for now, I'm enjoying the setup. So that's what you will continue to see. Anyhow, welcome to the back and bicep portion. We are working up to 3 sets of 1 using the close neutral pull-up. And just like the last workout, we're grabbing slightly in front. This way the lockout is a bit more challenging, which addresses my weakness. I find this to be the most difficult position. And the isometrics, wow, do they give you carryover. I think they will apply to anybody. They're just that good. Forces you to stay tight at the top. And keep in mind, isometric strength radiates 15 degrees in all directions. So it will improve that midpoint as well, not just holding it. Isn't that exciting? You're not sacrificing anything, and you get more out of less weight while smashing the arms slightly more. Perfect, again, if you're built like me. So yeah, this is the final set. Very pleased with how all three went. Arguably better than the previous session, so that probably has to do with the neutral grip and the fact that I am getting stronger on these vertical pulls. Now we're hitting the 3x3. We widen things up a bit because I feel it does give me slightly better shoulder recovery. And it's fun to mix up the variations just to minimize overuse. Doesn't have to be that serious. So 100 pounds was a bit too easy for the first set. So added another 5 pounds and this was the perfect weight. As you can see, getting some solid squeezes in at the lockout. And the form is overall controlled. Maybe not as tight as I'm supposed to be, but I don't really care about that when going this heavy. This is the final set, and I would argue that it went just as good, if not better, than the previous two. So overall, extremely pleased with the vertical pulling. Went much better than anticipated, and I can't wait to see how many more gains will be made. So given this information, I was like, you know what? Let's do some more volume work with the 50 pounder.
So for this set, I'm grabbing it up here with only 50 pounds.
Which is a slight improvement. I typically do burnout sets with my body weight, but since I was feeling so good, why not include it weighted? And maybe this will be my default from now on. Might as well, because I'm already good at bodyweight pull-ups. You saw that very clearly during the lockdown, how I was doing 500 pull-up workouts and just doing all kinds of volume. Things that people thought weren't really realistic, which I quickly disproved. Though keep in mind, my performance is nothing special. There are other people on this platform who are far more proficient at calisthenics. I'm just a guy who happens to be passionate about it, and I did incorporate it in the past. And I enjoy my weighted calisthenics for general strength training and size, but I'm not a specialist by any means, even though my performance is quite up there. So although I'm honored to have inspired many people, the truth is, there's always somebody better than you. And once you keep yourself humble like that, I think it keeps your mind at ease. And if anything, it raises your standards in a less egotistical way. You actually feel happy that there's people who are better. It's like freaking Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
We did it. Wow. Pull-ups went good, what can I say? Now we're gonna hit some inverted rows and a bit of biceps.
Anyhow, the pull-ups went super well. Probably the best part of the entire workout. Though I don't subscribe to minimalism, I believe that neglecting the horizontal pull is a grave mistake that can potentially cost some upper back stabilization gains. So that's why I do inverted rows. It's low stress on the lower back. I can get an amazing squeeze in, and by the time you do it at this part of the workout, reps of 12 to 20 absolutely get the job done. So you don't have to go heavy or compromise recovery that can impair deadlift performance. That's why I love this variation, and tomorrow more will be done in addition to band rows. So this is the final part of the workout, some dumbbell curls. I believe the first two sets were alternating, and then I switched to 2 arms at a time. And we're supersetting it with the face pull to not be in here as long. Plus doesn't affect the performance for the curls, so you can go back and forth. Did a lot of sets for the rear delts because I feel like it's going to become even more important as my bench continues to climb. I really don't want to injure my shoulder, so doing everything in my power to prevent that from happening, though you never know what could happen. Regardless, that's what it is. And here's the curls I was telling you about. The form wasn't the best because it's the final set, and I'm actually straining really freaking hard. And I grabbed it slightly uneven, but it's all good. Gains are coming in. And I'm using Olympic dumbbells from Bells of Steel for those who may be asking. I found these to be really useful since I have all these plates, and just goes well for efficiently loading. Though if I want to do 2 arms at a time like this, I will need to buy more weights because I can't do that at this current moment, which is fine. These weights are good, and it's not like my form is perfection to begin with, so I can always increase the volume and the reps. But eventually I will invest further, maybe getting those mini bumper ones too, which can allow me to do some dumbbell pressing. That would be a great addition to this home gym. So yeah, guys, that was a complete workout, one of a kind. I know it was similar to the last one, but there really was more work done overall. And I'm actually happier with how this went.
Alright guys, that is a complete workout. I hope you give this a shot and reap the rewards for bench press and pull-up progression. This is what I'm doing to get the gains, and I have no doubt that it'll work for you too, provided that you're correctly managing volume and intensity and using the exercise that address your weaknesses. Hopefully, my commentary explained how all that works. And if you have any questions about what I do or your own training, you have plateaus, let's see in the comment section and I'll do my best to help you out. So that's all I got for today. Post feedback in the comment section, and now I'm about to eat and rest.